My name is Lee, and I am recapping TNA's Hardcore Justice last night. The show started off with a Bound for Glory series match worth 20 points. It was a ladder match. Pretty good back and forth match between Kazarian, AJ, Jeff Hardy, and Austin Aries. Some great spots by Aries and Jeff Hardy and AJ. Just thought they just carried the match over Kazarian. But the new faction of Rude, Daniels, and Kazarian played into this match as they came down and interfered, and Kazarian hit Jeff with the Appletini of Doom, which pretty much made Jeff fall off the ladder, giving Kazarian the 20 points, which moves him up to 6th place in the Bound for Glory series at 22 points. Next we got a promo from Dixie talking about Kurt in rehab, saying she supports him and is glad he's there. MEM was in the ring with her, but really didn't get a chance to say anything because Aces and Eights came out and had a subpar promo that really wasn't great, trying to hype up the match. After the little promo they jumped Main Event Mafia and beat them down, which would lead to Sting getting really mad and saying that they needed to find another partner really quick. Next up, we got the Knockouts Triple Threat match, no DQ, between Mickie James, Gail Kim, and ODB. It was supposed to be a tag team match with Velvet Sky in it as well, but I never heard why Velvet Sky wasn't there or anything, so it became a no DQ Knockout Triple Threat match. Honestly, to say, I didn't really pay attention much in this match. Kind of talking to the fans while listening to the match, but listening to it sounded really good. But ODB picked up the win via Bam on the chair on Gail Kim. Then we go to a backstage segment with Main Event Mafia talking about Sting talking about getting a guy, and he's going to go talk to him, and lo and behold, he's meeting up with A-Double, and Sting tells him that they need Austin Aries, they really need him, but unfortunately Austin Aries will not be put in the main event in Main Event Mafia. So we come up to the next part where Rampage gets mad and says he knows who he's going to get. He has an answer for it, so he's going to go to the ring. Well, he goes to the ring, and out comes Samoa Joe with him, and he puts on one of the worst mic promos I've heard in a while. I just don't think he's used to being on the mic, and they should have maybe given him some more time to short things up. But overall, he got his point across and called out, of course, Tito Ortiz. Ortiz comes down and talks about his MMA career and achievements, and as the deal appeared to be closed that he was going to join MEM, Bully Ray comes out and says if he didn't have to wrestle tonight, to kick both their ass, and called Ortiz his he told him he would make him his Huntington Beach bitch. And so Ortiz snapped, and seemingly looked like Ortiz was going to join Main Event Mafia. The next matchup we had was the Bound for Glory series table match, which involved Bobby Roode, Magnus, Samoa Joe, and Mr. Anderson. Another great quality match from TNA again tonight. They're just putting some great quality matches together, which they need to do more often. And it looks like they're heading in the right way. Great back and forth match, which saw almost every competitor almost go through the table. But at the end, of the new faction of Daniels and Kazarian Rude powers through again and hits the Appletini of Doom on Magnus, and Rude powerbombs Magnus from the ropes through the table for the win. So that puts Bobby Roode getting the 20 points, putting him all the way into 2nd place with 27 points. Next up, we had Sting talking more about Tito and thinking Tito is going to be a great asset to Main Event Mafia, but that's yet to be seen. Then they go through another backstage segment with Anderson and Bully Ray talking about whose fault it was that Bully lost the title in the first place, trying to throw I guess TNA's trying to throw a little curve into it, showing some dissension inside the group. Next up, we have the TNA World Heavyweight Championship Steel Cage match between Bully Ray and Chris Sabin. Honestly, I thought this match could have been a lot better. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that TNA's cage looks like half the size of WWE's cage, and it kind of makes it weird looking. But this match probably could have used another 10 minutes. But overall, it was a really good match. I think it could have been much better. Lots of back and forth. Sabin looked like he was going to come out and get it at the end. But Mr. Anderson runs down and slams the steel cage on the shoulder of Sabin. And he holds the cage door shut until Rampage and Tito run down. Rampage tosses Anderson off the ramp, but Tito pulls out while Rampage is mouthing off to Anderson. Tito pulls out the Aces and Eights hammer and smacks him in the back of the head, which leads to Bully Ray grabbing Sabin, slamming him into the side of the cage, and then hits the Bully Bomb, which looked kind of like a botched Bully Bomb, because once he hit it, he looked like he was going to pick him up again and hit it again, but kind of just instead rolled him up. So it looks like we have Tito Ortiz and Aces and Eights going into next week. The Bound for Glory Series standings at this time are: Magnus is in first with 39, Bobby Roode with 27, Samoa Joe with 26, Jeff Hardy with 24, Anderson with 24, Daniels with 23, Styles with 22, Kazarian with 22, Aries with 21, Hernandez with 7, Jay Bradley with 0, and Joseph Park with -3. I talked to some fans about the show. Most fans thought it was a great show, a better show than it has been the past couple weeks. Although some fans did complain about the Tito and Rampage being there, of course, because it's a wrestling promotion, not a MMA organization, but it adds an interesting flame and characters to storylines, kind of bringing a little bit more hype into Aces and Eights now, in my opinion. But that is my recap for TNA Impact: The Hardcore Justice special, and tune in next week for next week's recap.